So a few weeks ago when I was doing a walk around video of my 85 GMC Sierra K2500, I mentioned that I had bought a surprise for the truck. It took a lot of logistics to get that where it needed to be, but I'm gonna walk y'all through the history of me buying it. We're gonna put it on the truck, see what it looks like, and I'm excited to show y'all. So one of the most iconic looks on these square body trucks is having a set of wide wheels and a set of boggers. There's just something about that look that makes these trucks just look awesome. So for the last 6 months, I've been searching for these exact set of weld wheels that I wanted. I wanted a specific design. Obviously, I had to have it in the right lug pattern, an 8x6.5, since this is a 2500 truck. I knew that I wanted a set of 14 wides, and I wanted it in a specific design. So those that know the market and knows how popular, but also how rare the weld wheels are, as soon as someone posts it on Marketplace or something like that, within 10 to 15 minutes, normally it's gone if it's a good deal. Now there's some guys that post the wheels online and they're listed at an outrageously high price, and they may sit for a couple weeks until someone talks them down. So I've been on the hunt, scouring Marketplace for the last 6 months, and I just happened to open up Marketplace one night, and the exact set of weld wheels that I was looking for had shown up. Now, I had found this design before in the lug pattern, in the width that I wanted, and like I said, they're normally gone in like 5 to 10 minutes. So I immediately messaged the guy. When I opened Marketplace, they had been posted for like 28 minutes. So I just messaged the guy, said, call me. I got on the phone with him, and even though it had already been posted for 28 minutes, I was the 12th person to contact this guy. But I said, I will put a deposit down right now. I will get them shipped. They were in Florida. I'm in Tennessee, so I had to get them shipped up here. I said, I want these wheels. And he said, well, if you give me a deposit right now, all these other guys are trying to talk me down. If you want them at the price I'm asking for, they're yours. So I immediately put a deposit down, figured out the logistics, got them shipped to Tennessee, and for the last 2 weeks, they've been getting sanded and polished to make them look like they do now. Now, I know I mentioned that I knew I wanted the bogger and weld look on this truck. Now, when I was looking for a set of welds, I didn't really care if they came with tires, had tires on them, whatever. But when I saw these listed on Marketplace, it was like the perfect deal. These are brand new boggers. These are a 16 wide, 35 inch tall with a 16.5 inch wheel. The wheels themselves are 16.5s, but they are a true 14 wide in an 8x6.5 lug pattern. As I mentioned when I just got these back from being sanded and polished, when I got them, they were in a little bit of rough shape. Of course, you know, you can kind of expect that in these older wheels to be in a rougher shape. So when you get them sanded, when you get them polished, they look practically brand new. You got a couple scuffs and scratches there. It is hard to find a pristine set, even though I thought these were in pretty good condition. So to give you all a little bit of a closer look, like I said, I think these wheels are in pretty good condition. I have not been able to locate a set of center caps for the wheels yet. Still on the search for those. I've just got to get some valve stem covers. I already ordered those, and I'm going to put those on here. I think the polishing came out great. There's a couple little nicks there, a little bit of curb rash that they were able to smooth out when they sanded the wheels. Ultimately, I think they cleaned up pretty good. It took me 6 months to find them, but I'm glad that I held out for the set that I actually wanted. This was the design that I was looking for, the Welds Stone Crusher wheel. As you can see, what's currently on the truck, this is basically the knockoff version that Raceline makes. It's called the Rock Crusher. So these were the real deal. I love that look. I just wanted the OG version of that. So that's why I held out for this design. I was gonna pull the trigger on a different design if it came up in the 8x6.5 lug pattern. These actually ended up showing up before I did that. You can tell a big difference between this set of wheels versus these, because this is a 16x10, where this is a 16.5x14. This is also, both are 35 inches. This is a 16 wide, and I believe these are 1250s or 12.5. I'm excited to throw them on the truck, see what they look like. Obviously the ride's probably not gonna be as good, but if you're buying boggers, you're probably not too concerned about the ride anyways. So I got the first wheel mounted on here. As I told y'all before, I don't have center caps, so I cheated. And for the time being, I'm just gonna use the center cap that I had on the, well, at least the open cap on the Raceline wheel, and probably gonna do that on the back just for now until I can figure out what I'm gonna do about center caps. I guess cheap version, Amazon version, something to where I can just buy the Welds sticker and put it on a cap similar to this. So I'm probably gonna do that until I can find some authentic Weld center caps. This was those wheels and tires look a little bit heavier than what you'd think they would be. I'm sweating a little bit. So I got the fronts on, about to jack it up, take the jack stands out and do the rear. First impressions just from the front, this thing looks awesome. This is exactly look that I was going for, that iconic Weld and Bogger look. I think it just looks awesome. I'm excited to do the rear and see what the full truck looks like. All right, guys, here she is. Fresh set of polished Welds, brand new 35, 16, 16.5 boggers. This truck looks absolutely awesome. It's exactly the look that I was going for, that classic old school look, square body on Welds and Boggers. This thing is exactly, like I said, exactly what I was looking for. This truck has a 6-inch lift on it. Most guys who are running these size boggers, I've seen anywhere from a 6-inch to a 10-inch lift. These are on a 14-inch wide wheel, so I think the 6-inch lift works for this. I didn't want to go too high with the lift and it looked unproportional, so I think the 6-inch with the 35-inch wheels looks like the perfect setup. It's got just enough tread sticking out to give it that nice wide look. I don't think the 16.5-inch wheels are too big for this. I think anywhere between a 15 and a 17-inch wheel looks like a great look because you got plenty of sidewall. The wheels turned out great. Freshly polished wheels. I've got it sitting in the sun so y'all can see those things are nice and polished on the truck. I think it really completely changed the whole look of this build. The old wheels and tire setup, of course, it was the same design, essentially, just a smaller wheel. But the wheels and tires absolutely made this truck. Overall, I'm extremely happy with how this wheel and tire setup turned out. I think it looks awesome. It's old school, it's wide, it looks killer on this truck. So I'm very happy that I was able to find these Welds and these boggers as well. I was very happy that I was able to find this setup. I think it just sets this truck off. I was a little bit worried about how the truck was going to ride with the boggers because I did a lot of research on it and they said that they ride extremely rough. They're loud. They are loud. I do agree with that. I did take a test drive. Couldn't help myself, so I went ahead and took a test drive. But the ride, honestly, I was expecting worse, and I don't know if that's because I read a lot of reviews and a lot of forums that said that these tires ride absolutely horrible. So I was expecting, you know, not being able to keep the truck on the road and just an awful ride. So to me, this is a 2500 truck. It's on a rough country suspension. The ride is not the best, but it's not bad. So I was expecting a little bit worse ride, but I can say that the boggers didn't really add that much to worsen the ride. I'll say that. You can definitely tell a difference in the steering. Obviously, a lot bigger tire, wider wheel than what I had on there. So you can tell a difference in that. They are pretty loud going down the road. Everybody knows the iconic bogger sound when they're just cruising down the highway. So there's no change in that. I was expecting that. Obviously, if you're running this kind of setup, you're not too worried about road noise. You're not too worried about ride quality. You're doing it for the looks. So it is what it is. If you like following along, I've got a couple other builds that we're working on. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything else.